Excuse me. Can we get?
I have a good relationship with him.
You do? Good. That's a good start. Here's my home. What? Oh.
I sure will.
I should wait for tonight. I have all kinds of material. For the homeless.
For the veterans.
Yes, right.
So the only problem that I see with this conversation
The whole stretch. Because it's open, it's just fun.
well, it's that part of it is not related to
Right.
certain spots. They so make the left turn at the traffic to go toward Moscow and right. There's some sort of agreement that says Moscow.
And this would be a 5-star. Yes, and conference.
So right now,
Best Western is, what is it? Sheridan.
Best Western.
Best Western. Was Sheridan. Well, when you have a little look over and see what
are, sir. Yes, sir. Reputation for citizenship.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's good or bad? I hope it's good.
100%.
One day painting. That's different.
So we're going to get started in a little bit, but for those who are going to be speaking at the public comment section, please make sure that you sign in. Thanks.
I'll just cross Joe's name out, put mine in.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Shall we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know, my name is John Campbell. I'm Vice Chair of the Board of Supervisors, Lower Paxton Township. I'll be chairing the meeting today. The first order of business under item number 3, adopt resolution 2026-07, censure of Supervisor Thompson regarding comments made at the February 3rd, 2026 board meeting. And I will read the resolution. Whereas on February 3rd, 2026, at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Thompson made statements in a setting closely connected to her official role as chair of the board that were unprofessional and a misuse of her position in connection with an implied self-serving fundraising request. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Lower Paxton Township, Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, that Supervisor Thompson is hereby formally censured. Be it further resolved that the censure constitutes an official expression of the board's disapproval and concern regarding conduct that undermines public trust and the ethical standards expected of township officials. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be entered into the official minutes and permanent records of the township and made available to the public in accordance with applicable law. At this point, I would like to entertain a motion to pass this resolution.
Chair, I would make a motion to adopt Resolution 2026-07, censure of Supervisor Thompson regarding comments made on February 3rd, 2026 board meeting.
Do I have a second?
Yes, I second it.
All right, at this point, we're going to open it up for public comment. A couple of reminders regarding public comment. Public comments are primarily for township residents. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. At the 4.5-minute mark, I will raise my hand and for you to wrap up your comments. And Shelley's going to be keeping time there. Please direct your comments to the entire board and not to an individual. If you have questions, we will do our best to answer the questions. Or We may take your questions under advisement and respond at a later date. So time for public comments, and Mr. Kessler has requested to go first.
Mr. Chair.
And if I could just add one more thing. Dr. Stewart is on the phone. As a second-class township, we're allowed to conduct business with the supervisor virtually.
Vice Chair Campbell, I just want to know for the record that I did not see this until last night when I got called by somebody that that it was on the agenda, and my name is on the bottom of it. So I just want to let you know for the record that my name was attached to it, and I never saw it until it was put out to the public.
Okay, and Supervisor Lindsay, I take full responsibility for that. That one is on me. Go ahead, Dr. Kessler.
Oh, good evening. Eric Kessler, running Pump Lane in Inglestown. I asked for a few minutes to speak about very specifically to the board as it relates to hiring an economic development director. Now, I brought this item up twice at your January board meetings, and it is still on your list to be done. Little background, Lower Paxton Township comprises of 28 square miles. In comparison, Harrisburg City is only 8 square miles. We're 3.5 times the size of the city.
Excuse me, Mr. Kessler, may I bring a point of order to the chair? Mr. Kessler is talking about the economic development position, but we still have a motion on the table to adopt the resolution.
Oh, I apologize, you are correct.
It's okay.
Okay. Will any of your public comments be about the resolution? Will any of your public, your comments?
oh, no.
Okay, all right, so we'll wait until the general public
Perfectly.
comment section, all right? All right, the floor is open for public comments concerning the resolution. Any public comments? Go ahead. So Mr. Kessler is going to be speaking on a matter that's not connected to the resolution. So we're going to ask Mr. Kessler to provide his public comments during the general public comments section. So this public comment section is specifically about the resolution to censure. Okay, any public comments about the resolution? Okay. Okay, go right ahead.
Hi.
Can you turn on your mic, please? There should be a little green
That
light.
button? It was off. Is it on now?
Yes.
Okay. I don't wish to give you my name or address. I'm signed in on the...
Okay, you need to give your name and address.
No, I don't need to. I do not wish to forfeit my Fourth Amendment to express my First Amendment. Counsel, if you want to address that. I'm signed in on the sign-in sheet.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm kind of confused at Supervisor Lindsay saying you didn't have your name attached to it. Wouldn't this be something that the entire board is in favor of? I'm kind of curious as to why you're asking for public comment before you adopt the resolution. I mean, I would think that the entire board would be in favor of, I watch all your board meetings, all of them. I don't typically come out when it's dark out to attend them. I was upset about, well, I was confused, I should say, after the last board meeting at that statement at the end. Very confused that I actually contacted supervisor about it. So I'm kind of rather concerned or confused now about having your name attached to it, because shouldn't all your names be attached to it? Isn't it from
I'm
the
the
whole board?
ma'am, I'm the secretary, so whether there's a resolution, I have to sign that after it gets passed. But as I said before, if anything has my name on it, whether it's a press release, a resolution, I
see it
personally would
first.
like to see it first before it hits the
It's not,
public.
okay, you didn't know there wasn't going to be a resolution, though.
When I looked at the agenda last night, It was on the agenda. I looked at the agenda on Friday night, it was not there. And last night I got a call that the agenda was changed by a resident, and that's when I saw it, and I saw my name was attached. But I'm the secretary, that's why, but I would have liked to have read the resolution prior to it hitting the public.
Got you. Okay, well, I understand you did the right thing. I mean, that's the right thing. As a resident of this township, I was appalled, absolutely appalled, and I thought, is this what we're doing now? Like, that was out of line. And I think you all recognized it, and I thank you for, doing the proper censuring. And that's really all I wanted to say on that matter. Because just thanking you for addressing a concern that was immediately recognized by, I'm sure, the community at large, those that pay attention, and taking action on it. And thank you for taking action on it.
Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
Any other public comments about the resolution? Okay, seeing none, there is a properly moved and seconded motion on the floor. All those in favor, well, we're going to have a roll call vote. All right. So Supervisor Lindsay, how say you?
Aye.
Supervisor Scheib?
Aye.
Supervisor Stewart? Aye. And I vote aye as well. The ayes have it. The resolution is passed. On to item number 4, acceptance of letter from Supervisor Thompson permanently relinquishing her position as chair of the board. Over the weekend, this board received communication from Supervisor Pamela Thompson, acknowledging the errors that she made during February 3rd Board of Supervisors meeting, and permanently relinquishing her position as chair. Should we formally accept this letter, the board will schedule a reorganization to be held on February 17th, 2026, where a new chair will be elected. At this point, I'd like to entertain a motion a motion for this resolution.
No, this to accept the letter.
I'm sorry, accept the letter from Pamela Thompson. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that the Board of Supervisors of Lower Paxton Township accept the letter from Supervisor Pamela Thompson permanently relinquishing the position of chair of this board.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
Any public comment? Okay, seeing no public comment. So there is a properly moved and seconded motion on the floor. All in favor, and we're going to do a roll call vote again. Supervisor Scheib?
Aye.
Supervisor Stewart?
Aye.
Supervisor Lindsay?
Aye.
And as the Vice Chair, John Campbell, aye. The motion has passed. Now on to item number 5, general public comment. And Mr. Kessler, you're up first.
Thank you once again. I did ask for a few minutes to speak to Lower Paxton Township Board, specifically as it relates to hiring an economic development director. I've brought this question item up twice at your January board meetings, but it is still on your list to be done. Some information. Lower Paxton Township comprises of 28 square miles. In comparison, Harrisburg City is only 8 square miles. Lower Paxton Township is the 3rd largest sized geographic municipality of the top 13 municipalities, only behind Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. We are something special. Lower Paxton Township still has a lot of underdeveloped buildings, and of course raw land. And we are much less densely populated than most of the top 13 municipalities. Consequently, Lower Paxton's population will grow larger. That is inevitable. My question is, so what are we going to do? What will this board do to prepare the township for this growth? Lower Paxton's township has grown every year. Of the top 13 municipalities, 3 of them are shrinking in population. And I've done my homework. In the next 5 or so years, Lower Paxton Township will be in the top 10 municipalities. In light of our continuing growth, Lower Paxton has to evolve. To date, Lower Paxton has done a very good job of financially handling the taxpayers' money. I've actually read through the past 8 years of financials. In 2024, the township had over $29 million in general fund revenues. In 26, it is budgeted to be almost $31 million. We are growing. The Lower Paxton Township expenses have jumped from $27 million to a budgeted $31 million. All of that has been done with no township increase. And that the board is to be commended for that. I'm not here to pick an argument with the board. I am here to kind of push you to take some action. When I went on the board's or the township's website, there's listed, it says departments. You click on the departments, then you hit economic development. So when I go to the economic development department and click here to access a map of the township properties, you know what I get? A white screen, and it says in bold letters, item does not exist. Actually, that's correct, because on paper, you have an economic development department. In reality, you don't. All your demographic and market profiles are 6 years old. And I tell you that to help you correct, not to kick you. Please understand that. Your website says your population is a little over 49,000 people. It's wrong. It's over 50. It's 55,812 people. And I come here tonight as a semi-retired, sort of, businessman, asking my township leaders to understand that growth is here and you must react now, not put this on the future list. So I'm asking very simply for 5 items. Number 1, hire an experienced economic development director now. 2, provide this person with a dedicated support assistance. Number 3, provide budgeted funds so this director can produce the data to be shared, marketed, used to attract new business and to assist the current business within the township. Your own website says Lower Paxton Township provides help to new businesses. No, you don't. This position will provide that assistance and allow controlled growth. It is my anticipation this department can be internally funded with about $300,000, which funds are already in the 26 budget. They're there. And John, you and I spoke about it. That means that you can fund the Economic Development Department with a zero impact of the 26 budget. Taxes will not go up. It is noteworthy that historically there was an Economic Development Department. In 2025, the budget was $224,000 and change. The township took these funds and put it into the Parks and Rec Department. Why? The 26 Economic Development Department now has a budget 0. It still is on your budget, but it's blank. Someone removed it completely. This economic development person's job is most assuredly to start focusing on older commercial buildings that already exist. So don't take me any the wrong way. We are not going to tear up farms and build 10,000 more homes. It's taking buildings that are not performing or are vacant or they can be better used. This position will help the private owner to improve their personal cash flow, or with the property owner's consent, you can create a new project vision that is good for the township. You have to remember all private property owners have to be voluntarily involved. The mall, I'll close with this. Everybody keeps talking about the mall. I use it as an example. A successful project will increase the taxes they pay, which increases the township's revenue, adds more amenities within the township, and also adds jobs. It's a win-win situation. The mall and the Sears building currently pay $327,000 in annual taxes, plus stormwater fees, sewer bills, and so on. A new project at this location would probably triple the amount of revenue brought into the township. This is a department that would have a return on investment. So in closing, I am asking the board tonight, will you discuss and make a motion to hire an economic development director? Enough talk. Please, let's get this done. And the economic development director had been a position on the township staff. I'm not creating anything new. So let's just get on with it, please. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Other public comments? And by the way, Mr. Kessler, yeah, there are conversations going on internally about that very same thing, economic development. So thank you for your comments. It's important to the township. It's important for the long-term benefit
And
of
it's
the
a
citizens.
zero budget item.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Anthony Cristillo, 3940 Walnut. You know, my comments are,
I don't think the mic's on. It has to have a green light.
it was on.
Okay,
yeah.
can you talk into it then? Because I can't hear you here.
Anthony Cristillo, 3940 Walnut. Where's Pamela at tonight?
I do not know.
I'm asking that the board, I commend you for, although a week late, and I find it troubling that Robin didn't know about any of this. That just tells us what have known for a while, that this board,
Well, that's not a fair statement.
Yeah, he called me on Friday night, but I never saw the resolution
Okay,
until
all
last
right.
night, so.
all right. I think Pamela should be removed from the board completely. If the Gazette wouldn't have really pushed this story and gotten it out there, this wouldn't be happening tonight. Only because they brought it and really turned it into a story. This board then acted on it after that. Last Tuesday night when she made those comments, you knew right away it was an ethics violation. I would hope that especially you, John, and Katie, you researched the hell out of stuff. You had to have known that that was a violation, but you waited a week. That's a problem. We got to stop this. We have to get a hold of it now. Get this under control. Where's Charlie Stewart at tonight? I mean, this is an important meeting.
Mr. Cristillo, Supervisor Stewart is on the phone.
Excuse me for a second. This is Dr. Stewart right here, and I am here for the important meeting.
Yeah.
Mr. Cristillo.
Would have been nice to have you in person, but that's okay. Listen,
No,
I
it
think
is
we
okay.
should
I
take
haven't
a
finished talking yet.
I would like Pamela to be removed from the board completely. You guys, is her office been taken out of the township office? Does she still have an
So
office
let me
there?
answer your first point you made about removing her from the board. That is not in the control of this board. That has to do with the legislature and the governor.
Okay. Does she still have an office in the township? Yes or no?
I'm not aware that that office is ongoing, but I will look into that.
So you don't know if she still has an office here?
We'll look into that.
Come on. John, just tell us the truth. Just be honest.
Do you have any other public comments?
All right, no, that's it. That's
Okay.
it. But can we get this, can we stop this show and get to doing the business for the township? That's all we want. Eric's completely right. The economic development should be here. We have a great manager that makes a decent salary. Let him manage. Enough with the Pamela and the others getting involved in his business and going to department heads and getting information from them and going over him. That's Mike's job. He's great. Great resume. Let's let him manage and report to the board. That's the chain of command. I mean, this township could easily we could lose it if we don't get control of it now. But Pamela has to go. That's all I have.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Any other public comments?
John Packer, 5723 Kenwood Ave. So for a point of clarification on the censure, Robin, if you didn't see it till yesterday, who authored it?
I'm sorry, who what?
Who authored it? Who wrote it? So you weren't
I-
involved in writing it, is that?
I worked with our solicitor,
Okay.
worked with our township manager to prepare the resolution.
But no other board members were involved? Just as a point of, yes or no? Point-
They were advised that we were preparing one.
Right, but they did not see the verbiage until it was prepared.
Correct. The verbiage was, the final version was out on Monday.
Okay. But it wasn't really out to the public other than in the agenda, which was put out Friday, which I looked at it Friday and didn't realize there was an update till I picked the one up here. So that's fine. You answered the questions on that. So I'll have one more question before I make any other comments. So in your reorganization meeting that you're going to have now next week, correct?
Correct.
Will there be an opportunity to speak as to any public that wants to give their 2 cents as to who we feel the chairperson should be? Or is my time right now?
So you can take advantage of that time right now. Normally, my understanding is that as we select officers for the board, that public comments are not normally given.
Okay, well then I'll take that as this is my time. So I'm going to rewind a little bit to the previous board and some of the stuff that we went through. And at that time, Supervisor Thompson was the only elected official for our elected supervisor. So there were 2 different times that a chairperson was put into place, temporarily and then permanently. And there was some outcry from at least one of the supervisors that it wasn't her because of her being the only one with any experience. So I would ask that you take that completely into consideration, that you're now sitting there with 3 of you that have no experience on this board except for the past month. Robin has 16 years of experience as a supervisor, as a chairperson. So I implore you to do the right thing when that time comes next week and look at that, because you wouldn't conduct a job interview and take the guy with no experience over the one with 16 years experience.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Packer. Other public comments?
Jeff Clare, 2648 Amanda Drive. So just adding to Eric's comments regarding the mall, I want you to have the vision that there is actually construction going on at the mall and it's being developed. One thing, because this isn't my first rodeo, one of the major concerns will be the staffing issues, workforce development. When that mall, or whatever it turns out to be, is fully developed, you're going to need worker bees. I don't believe the township has enough $15 and $20 an hour worker bees that will be needed at the mall. In conversations I've had with Marriott and Hilton, they're looking to build a hotel conference center. We got to staff these things. All the retailers that, or restaurants or entertainment locations that reside at that mall property, all they're going to be doing is poaching employees from other businesses around the township. There is no worker housing. Affordable housing is an issue. It's been an issue where staff was actually told there is to be no affordable housing within Lower Paxton Township. Next, transportation. I've seen more transportation plans that have cost so much money that none of them have ever been put into place. The reality of it is, at 11 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock when some of the restaurants or stores close, people are going to have to go home. And since there's no affordable housing, they're going to have to go have a car pick them up, take Uber, whatever transportation, which is unaffordable to a person making $20 an hour. So there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that have to happen long before that mall is completed. And so I'm just asking to be concerned about the vision and how do we make that vision become a reality. One of the last things is this township does not have a business license required. The data that needs to be collected, we don't know what businesses are opening. We don't know what businesses are closing. We don't know who's selling theirs. We have no clue to who is in. I got a call from Channel 21 asking, why are there 9 car washes in Lower Paxton Township? I didn't know there were more than 5. But the reality of it is, you know, you're going to have vape shops on every corner because they're making a fistful of money. But we need to know what's coming. And the only way to do that, I don't care if it's a free business license or a $5 business license, there has to be something that provides data. In my conversations with Whole Foods, they wanted to know what other businesses that compete against them are in this township. There are things that you have to think about before the end result happens because it'll be too late at that point. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Clare. Other public comments?
How you doing? My name's Ed Rossi, 1061 Collingswood Drive, Lower Paxton, right off Union Plaza Road. Yeah, the reason why we got 5 car washes is because all the road salt's on the road. That's what I see, and that's exactly what I'm here to talk about tonight. And I'm not here to. I'll be blunt about this. That stuff's killing everything we got. 1 tablespoon of road salt will destroy 5 gallons of fresh water, period. Stroud Water Research has all the data. We don't need any more studies. They probably put at least 50 pounds on my street alone, so I mean, do the math. Road salt, if you want to save money, I mean, maybe you can save money, you know. I'm more worried about our fresh water supplies, our crayfish, our trout, our total environment, freshwater ecosystems are being destroyed with road salt. Stroud Water Research is going to have a meeting at the Capitol Rotunda on road salt, believe it or not. And and they're not against road salt. And I'm not totally against road salt, but if it was up to me, I'd make it a plows-only state. And most of the time we have a 2-inch snowfall. You just plow it, let the sun come out. By 11 o'clock, everything's dry. I mean, I've witnessed PennDOT trucks salting the air. I've witnessed our lower Paxton trucks salting the rain, for every $100 worth of road salt, it destroys $3,000. Road salt's about $100 a ton. For every $100 worth of road salt, it causes $3,000 in damage to public infrastructure and to private property vehicles. I mean, I can't tell you how many brake lines I've replaced on my car. Look at the town's police officer's car. You can't even see out of them. The road salt is just killing us. This is for everybody in the room. This is not just the board. I can understand that some of the hills in Lower Paxton, go ahead and salt them. They're very steep. I get the safety thing. But I mean, if everybody's going to hire a lawyer and be the safety thing, am I allowed to sue when my fresh water supplies are destroyed with this stuff? We've been doing this for 50 years. And PennDOT, 980,000 tons of road salt gets put on the roads throughout Pennsylvania. Now, you want to save $1 billion? Boom, make it a plows-only state. Salt where you have to. Otherwise, you want to leave something to our children. How about fresh water? Because at the rate we're dispensing this road salt, you go out and look at the roads right now, they're white. And that's not because of snow. And that road salt does not just go away. It goes straight into our streams. I don't know what else to say, but I hope maybe the township can save some money by just having a policy. I mean, I'm going to leave you with this. This is from Stroud Water Research, and they're out of PA. The road salt is sticking around into July and August. They have citizen environmental guys like me will go take a water sample, and you can see just by the results of how bad it really is. I mean, as mankind, we are destroying ourselves with road salt. And, if you can save some money, do it. But, 980,000 tons of road salt, knowing that 1 tablespoon of road salt destroys 5 gallons of fresh water. Our creeks and streams around here, they can't take that. Especially when.
So you have 30 seconds. So if you could wrap up your comments, Mr. Rossi.
All right. Make it a plows-only township.
All right.
If a 2-inch snowstorm, plows only, done.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Rossi. Appreciate it. Other public comments?
Good evening, Board of Supervisors. You're looking well. I believe you probably understand the challenges of your role, and I'm sure that you'll find a way to the right things to do. I can't make every meeting, but I guarantee you I'm watching every one of them. I wanted to just say that I appreciated the liaison program that the supervisors have implemented. This sounded like a really good idea, and I wish we had thought about it before. I came to talk about 2 topics, and I'll get to them in a minute, the same 2 topics I talked about last month. But I want to say a couple of things because of all the things that have happened at this podium before I got here. First, I want to say, I guess, a congratulations to Mr. Bostic and Mr. Crusillo. I'm not sure the issue of the comments of Supervisor Thompson would have been given the same level of gravity if these guys hadn't made it an issue. I also want to congratulate the board on coming up with the resolution. However it was arrived at, I think it was an appropriate thing to do. And I also want to tell Supervisor Thompson that I think she did the right thing by offering her resignation as chairman. Other people have said other things here this evening. Eric Kessler mentioned about an economic development director. I think that's what Mr. Clare was referring to. Also, John Packer made some comments about who might be the next chair. I know you're not looking for input from the crowd or from from the residents, but I will say this. I know that Supervisor Lindsay is no longer one of my raving fans, but I do recognize the talent and the ability she has as a supervisor and the job that she did as supervisor, or the chair previously. So while I don't think she really cares whether or not I endorse her or not, I give her my hearty endorsement for the position of chair of this particular board, at least until the rest of you get your feet get your sea legs under you. Here's the two things I want to talk about, and again, Mr. Kessler made a really nice presentation. I will tell you that the previous Board of Supervisors considered, I'm sorry, before I say that, I want to say one last thing. Mr. Crusillo asked about whether or not Supervisor Thompson would continue to have an office in his building. I will tell you, to my grave disappointment, because I believe supervisors should be leaders, Supervisor Thompson spends an awful lot of time in this building. And it's a very difficult situation because she is, just like all of you, are elected to serve the public. And you have authority and authorization to come into the building and ask questions and learn for yourself. That's part of your oversight job. But I do know that Supervisor Thompson, at least while I was a supervisor, had use of an office on a regular daily basis, which oftentimes caused problem for staff and for management. And it was difficult for us. First, we were interim, we weren't elected, and she was. Secondly, we were of a different political party than she was, so that anything we did looked a little bit heavy-handed when it came to how we interacted with Supervisor Thompson. So I don't want to take any blame, but we certainly don't deserve any credit for allowing Supervisor Thompson to be in this building on a daily basis and interfering with staff and interfering with the chain of command, the management of this organization. So I can tell you for sure that she did. When I was a supervisor, she had a regular office here. I hope that this board will look into that matter and do the right thing on that. Having said all those words, which I didn't intend to say, let me say this. We're facing the 250th anniversary of this nation. I came before this board a month ago and I asked, will we have fireworks for the 4th of July? 3 people kind of voiced they were concerned about it. I would ask you to get with Public Safety Director Kashiba and look at the plan that they had for fireworks at George Park and how safety would have been improved, how access would have been improved, how there would have been more control.
Excuse me, Mr. McCormick, you have about 30 seconds to summarize. And
not to make a decision
comments.
is to make a decision. I want to see this board vote on whether or not we have fireworks or not. Be on the record, be a leader. The last thing I want to say is the Economic Development Authority. I came before this board last month. Many people talked about an economic development director. I believe that this township needs to authorize an authority to help this person. They need to authorize an economic development authority, not just to look at the mall, but as Mr. Kessler said, all of the buildings and property in the township, and to encourage smart, effective, and worthwhile development. Attract new people to the township. That's what we were going to do. We were actually going to make the economic development person the joint title of Assistant Township Manager and Economic Development Director. That was our plan. You folks will do your own thing, I'm sure. Please give that serious consideration. What happened on the West Shore was they had this Economic Development Authority, and it was strategic and it was exceptionally important in the development that they were successful with in the West Shore. Thank you very much for your time, Supervisor.
Thank you for your comments. Other public comments?
My name is Joe Lindsay, 6244 Overview Lane. I am here because I am totally embarrassed at the leadership of this township, and I don't mean you, manager. We are blessed to have a new manager here, somebody that really cares about this township. I am appalled at the way we have a divided board. It's quite obvious when you come here or you sit at home, and I encourage all of you on the board to go home and look at YouTube and see how long you can sit there and watch what happens at these meetings. I'm here to hope that you can fix this and do the right thing. I'm here to let you know that I think it's appalling that we have a board that is divided 4-1. And I'm not going to argue this. It is quite obvious what has happened ever since the election has been decided. Up until the election, Robin Lindsay, we have to get her on the board. That came from Supervisor, excuse me. Excuse me. That came from Supervisor Stewart. We got to get her on the board. From Supervisor Campbell, I'm looking forward to working with Robin Lindsay. She knows so much about this township. Now, they don't even know who Robin Lindsay is. And we have a problem. And I'm telling you, Pamela Thompson was a problem, but she wasn't the blame totally. This board could have avoided what we're looking at this evening if you would have done the right thing and put the right person in the chairperson seat on February the 5th, or excuse me, January the 5th. And I'm asking you, on behalf of the people of Lower Paxton Township, to do the right thing. Get rid of your personal opinions, your personal animosities, and come together as one board, because if you don't, I'll tell you what I'm afraid of is losing that man right there. And I don't know him, but for the 2 months or so that he's been on this board, I think he's been doing a fantastic job. But he can only deal with so much you know what. And he's going to move on. And I'm not talking to him about this, so don't put words in his mouth. But this is appalling what has happened here on this Board of Supervisors. But you as a board are to blame for what has happened with Pamela Thompson, because you could have avoided this. You all knew that she did not have the experience. She only had 2 years on the board. And I'm saying, and I'm not going to be demeaning to the supervisors that just got elected here. You have no experience. You've been on the board for 2 months. That is it. And I must say that the comments made earlier about private sector, you don't walk in and become the boss on day number 1. So please, do what is right for the township. I'm not here lobbying for Mrs. Lindsay because I have a vested interest in her. I've been with her for a long time. Whether she's a supervisor or not, I'm never going to get rid of her. She's a wonderful person. It's about time that the rest of the board recognize that, because she loves this township. It's about time that you guys do that as well. I wish you the best, but remember, you can solve this problem. You blew it the first time. Let's get it right this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lindsay. Other public comments? All right, seeing none, we're going to go to item number 6 on the agenda, which is liaisons report. And again, I agree with the comments that were previously made that yes, this is something that we feel will absolutely benefit the township, benefit our staff. I'm the liaison with finance, and I had a session today to learn more about our debt structure, and that's what I'm all about. So I look forward to providing my expertise in that space as well. So I'll open it up to the floor to the other supervisors for their liaison reports.
Go ahead.
Okay. I am the recreation liaison, and I have a great announcement that we are less than 40 days to spring, if you can believe it, looking outside. So that means that the recreation department, our Parks and Rec, is working hard and ramping up for a pretty exciting summer. Rachel Scott, Director Scott, gave me just some announcements, and I'd just like to read them to you. The first one that we were going to announce was our Trash Can to Treasure program. But before you get too excited, all the trash cans have been spoken for. So basically what this program is to beautify the parks by becoming Public artists for the public, individuals and organizations have registered to paint one of the park trash cans and to and to transform it to a treasure. However, all the trash cans have been spoken for, so we'll be excited to see how they turn out this summer. The second thing coming up is the community gardens. We're getting planting season upon us, and there are a few of the smaller plots left. They're open until all of them are gone and reserved. Small plots are 10 by 20. They're open to Lower Paxton residents who are 18 and older. Please reach out to the Parks and Recreation Department if you're interested. The third announcement is actually more of a public hearing necessity, super important, not just a rec program. It's our community development block grant. Lower Paxton Township is an entitlement community that receives federal dollars annually in the amount of about $260,000. Those dollars can be used for a myriad of things. So in order to award them to projects within the township, we conduct a public hearing. It's a state mandated protocol for these particular grant programs. And I just wanted to announce to everyone that on the 18th of February, that public hearing will be held, and it will be at 6 o'clock here in the township building. So if you're a member of the public and you're interested to know how these community development block grants funds may be spent, please feel free to show up on the 18th. Moving into the rest of the summer, if you're interested in registering for a pavilion, please know you just can't picnic anywhere unless you call Parks and Rec and make an application to get a pavilion. Got a lot of nice pavilions, and a lot of people would like to use them. So please go ahead and use our registration process. And again, Parks and Rec staff are more than happy to answer all of your questions. And finally, the Bright Bill basketball program registration is open. Ages 8 to 15, Coons Park. Bright Bill also, and it's proudly backed by our Lions Club here in Lower Paxton. They are an all-star sponsor. Registration does end on March 27th, so please don't come on March 28th because you just can't play anymore. So they are the announcements for Park and Rec. Spring is here, 39 days. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Supervisor Scheib. Supervisor Lindsay.
Okay, I'm the liaison to the Public Works Department, learning a lot about the roads and salt. So Friday, we had a meeting on site. There's going to be a park that's going to be dedicated to the township. I was invited because Public Works will be taking care of that property, mowing the grass, and whenever the park does actually come. In early March, I set up a meeting with PennDOT. I've never had that opportunity before to meet. There are PennDOT officials that represent us, and their maintenance people and their signalization. So there is a meeting set up. Some of the questions are the signalization on Route 22. We all know that there's an issue going north and south, leaving 2 or 3 cars. Locust Lane, when's the paving going to be done? What else has to be done there? Are they going to be a part of the active transportation plan? Are they going to support us? 81 in North Mountain Road, what are we going to do there? There's been a ton of accidents there. The road maintenance, how are you taking care of your roads? Explain to us. Snow plowing, you all know that we do take care of a lot of the state roads. We get I'm going to call it a little stipend of $49,000 this year. I'm sure we went through that in the first 2 months of December and January of plowing. How do they come upon the equation of what we get paid? Okay, because we're using our salt, we're using our manpower. So there's a lot of questions, and we are going to be meeting with them, myself, Matt, Public Works Director, Manager Goshard, and I'm going to be inviting Representative Fleming, Representative Kerwin, and Senator Kim, because all those roads are in their districts, so they will be invited to this meeting. And also, I've been busy taking phone calls on walks that aren't cleaned. Are some of them part of the township that has to be cleaned? Is it a homeowner? So the past couple days have been working with Matt. We had a resident on Marine Drive that had an issue. Within 15 minutes, Public Works was out there and they took care of it. Little bit of a misunderstanding, all taken care of, ready for the next time that it snows. So it is an exciting position to be taking, taking care of the public works as the liaison. I am enjoying it. And also learning, as I always said before, every time you sit up here or you ask a question, you are learning. Nobody is perfect, and you're never going to know all the answers. So, and if you have any issues, please feel free. The township cell phone is on the website, and also my email, and I can relay stuff then to our Public Works Director, Matt, and to the manager. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Supervisor Lindsay. Dr. Stewart, do you have any report, liaison report?
As far as public safety is concerned, there's no additional information at this time. Their meeting's only once a month, and since it's only been about 90 days since we've taken office here, I'm in the process of learning things, getting knowledge from these individuals, and getting to know them. As far as the education side of it, we made an advanced contact with the superintendent of schools, and we're in conversation with them on how we can better assist them in becoming a bigger part in some of the decisions that are made here in the township. Other than that, I have no further thing to report.
Great. Thank you, Supervisor Stewart. All right, so we're at item number 7 now, Chair and Board members' comments. Anything else,
No.
Supervisors? Okay. All right, let's go to Manager's report. Mr. Gossard.
I have no report this evening, so.
Great. Thank you, sir. Item number 9, we have action to award a contract for Coons Memorial Park Court Improvement Project.
Good evening. Tonight I am requesting the board
Can you state your name?
Oh, I
Just-
apologize. Rachel Scott, Parks and
Thank you,
Recreation
Rachel.
Director. I feel like I'm
I
up
knew
here
who you
every
were,
week,
but,
so. I am requesting the board to award the Coons Park Basketball Court Improvement Project to SLC Excavating LLC in the amount of $279,904, which includes the court color coding as a deduct alternate in the amount of $39,200. This project includes improvements to the basketball courts adjacent to the playground and is part of the master planning efforts. To accommodate the basketball court improvements, the playground footprint will be reduced. The court renovations will bring courts into ADA compliance and address the existing drainage issues. Bids were received on February 3rd through Penn Bid, with 5 bids submitted, and the township consultant YSM Landscape Architects confirmed the XLC Excavating as the lowest responsible bidder. Funding will be provided through a combination of CDBG and general fund allocations. Anticipated completion date is April 25th, just in time to start our summer basketball program. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Rachel, for that report. Do we have any public comments about this?
Can I just ask a
contract.
question
Go
as a
ahead.
board? Yeah. So Rachel, so you are doing the color, the colored coat then?
We are hoping to, pending the weather, as we have to have the project done by May so that we have it ready for the basketball program. If we're not able to have the color coding, we would have to do that at another time.
Okay. And are you using a grant for this?
We're planning to use CDBG funding. I believe it's $248,000 of the total is applied towards removing barriers by making it ADA accessible.
Okay. Thank you.
Any public comments? Okay, do I have a motion to award the contract for Coons Memorial Park?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to award a contract for Coons Memorial Park Court Improvements Project.
Okay, do I have a second?
I will second that.
Okay. All in favor, please.
Comment.
Okay.
Discussion.
Okay, any discussion?
Because Mr. Kessler raised a point in his presentation, and Director Scott, I don't mean to put you on the spot because I'd be more than happy to speak to it. Can you talk about why these funds need to be spent by May?
We are about 3 years behind from utilizing the CDBG funds, so we are in a timeliness situation that we have to spend approximately $340,000 by April 25th.
I do think it's important to note that these funds for Community Development Block Grant have been shifted, and my limited understanding, because of my newness on the board, is that these funds were in jeopardy of being lost if they weren't shifted and spent. So please don't think that this board is denying or deferring economic development. They needed to be shifted, they needed to be spent, or they would have gone back to the state. And I just think that that's an important thing to note. And I think you've done great work at Coons Park, and I look forward to the improvements.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Great job. Item number 10 on the agenda, Historical Commission presentation on the New Side Road Cemetery project.
Good evening. My name is David Doyle. I've had the honor to be the chair of the Historical Commission for about the last 6 or 7 years. And tonight I wanted to talk about the New Side Cemetery project. See if I can get this.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. First off, I'd like to, the artwork that's there was done by Sandy McKeon, and that was a project that we had asked the Library Arts Group if they would be willing to provide some artwork for us. The New Side Cemetery project is, first off, the New Side Cemetery is just, if you know where the intersection of Rutherford Road and Union Deposit, if you would travel south on that road, that becomes New Side Road. The New Side Cemetery was started from a breaking of the Presbyterian Church in Paxton in the 1740s, and there was a church that was on about where New Side Road is now. That, if I can find a keyboard here. There we go. The interesting part is that we wanted to do something for the 250th anniversary. And this cemetery contains or holds as a final resting ground, I think it's 19, I can't read the, it's 19 Revolutionary War soldiers, 4 French and Indian War vets, and 2 from the War of 1812. Along with that, there's a number of individuals that were some of our original settlers from this area. So we wanted to go into this cemetery, which was left and completely overgrown, covered in vines, poison ivy, fallen trees, and just in total disrepair and left gone. Back in the early 2000s, Jay Purdy, who's my co-chair, and I were on the Lower Paxton Historical Society, and we were able to get the township to take the portion of the cemetery that you can see a little bit of the fenced-in area there, which it's around 20 by 20 and holds the final stones that are remaining. And these tombstones go back from the 1700s. But we knew that based on that monument that you can see in the front, that was a presentation by the Daughters of the American Revolution. And on there, they had a list of a numerous amount of names. And we knew that the cemetery had to be further expanded beyond what's just in the fenced-in area. So we took on this project. And during that, we found that there was a sidewalk that paralleled New Side Road. And we went in and cleared that because that was completely overgrown. The area where the loader is right there, the skid loader, that was actually a swamp and just filled with mud, so it would be not be able to be used by any pedestrians. So we cleared that out, and we hope to eradicate that situation in the future by somehow removing or creating a better runoff system that it could go into the storm drains. We also, if you see the arborist that's up in the tree, he was a volunteer and cut down about 7 or 8 trees that were endangered of falling on the remaining tombstones. So most of those stones have now been cleared. I'm sorry, most of those trees have now been cleared. We've gotten rid of most of the poison ivy and cleaned up the grounds. The next part of the project was, once we have it cleared out, we use ground penetrating radar, and that Jerry's the gentleman with the yellow vest on using the ground penetrating radar. He donated all of his time and that machine. He works for a utility service corporation, and they've been a godsend to us because we'd have never been able to go forward with this mystery of where the actual people are buried. Jerry located a suspected 48 burial sites, and we were looking for around that number. And each of those sites have now been marked with those orange surveyor whiskers and also with the white flags, so that as we're moving back and forth, we can actually walk over those and not destroy where Jerry has found the sites. He's coming back in the spring, which I was glad to hear is only a few days away, or 30 or 9 days away. And Jerry will actually mark each of those with a GPS finding or coordinates, so that we will be able to have a digital map and be able to locate exactly where they're at in the future. All work performed was done by volunteers. And I'm proud to say, zero cost to the township. All these volunteers were fantastic. I don't care if you showed up one day for 2 hours, you became part of our family. We had people from all walks of life, all different types of expertise, and they worked hard, and that's how we got this area cleared out. One of the gentlemen, Bill Miller, of course, we've utilized, I think we've used every truck he owns to haul away all the debris. It has such a transformation. And the interesting part is that as we are working, people come up, they'll stop by, they'll thank us, they'll beep their horns, they'll wave. It's just amazing. And in the top right corner, there's 2 people that I want to pick out. It's the young gentleman, his name's Anthony, and that's his father, Chad. It is so nice to have youth helping us with this. And Anthony is a senior at Bishop McDevitt, and it's my understanding he's now going to major in history. So come spring, we're ready to level the ground. We have one last hindering tree that is really causing a problem. Unfortunately, Newside is a state road, or we would be able to operate and close roads, et cetera, with a lot less bureaucracy than what we're looking at now. But we're looking at hopefully removing that tree. and I need to back up a little bit. All the property outside of that fenced-in area is actually owned by Four Seasons, by their HOA, but they've given us full, they've given us unrestricted access to this property and allowing us to do as the project is moving forward. And I think it's kind of interesting. If you look to the right, the middle and the right hand, those are two of the stones that are out there, and it's just amazing. These are from the 1700s. Unfortunately, most of the stones were removed, so the farmer could plow corn and grow all through the 1900s, the late 1800s. The Freisinger property, which was pretty much Freisinger most of the 1900s as a farming, he picked up the remaining stones and put them in that fenced-in area. So thankful for that we're able to have those. And we're trying to work with different experts to try to seal them so that they don't eventually just rot away due to Mother Nature and all the acid rain. Our 2026 goals. One of the first things we want to do is we want to place a 20-foot flagpole with a Betsy Ross type of flag. The reason we want to use that flag, we think that it would be very eye-catching to the individuals. Plus, it brings respect back to the time period of when the people who fought for our nation's independence that are buried there. That would be the flag. The second thing we want to do is we want to put in steps. I've been in contact with Bob Brightbill with Dauphin Tech, and they're very interested in the project and are willing to do the steps for us as one of the kids' projects, students' projects, I should say. And I'll get into the cost on that in a few seconds. The other thing we want to eventually do is put a plaque. The plaque on this picture was one that we put out right next to Heroes Grove, which gave honor back to the 3 servicemen that were killed in the early 1950s when a bomber crashed on the other side of Linglestown. So it would be that type of plaque that we want to put up, and we would put a QR code on it so that eventually I could work with the township. They would have a site that if you click on the QR code, we can keep updating the site, the online site, and they can get as current information as we're receiving it. The next thing is to put grave markers down. We do not know who is buried in each of those slots because the tombstones have long been gone, and there's no documentation that supports who is buried where. So what we want to do is we want to put a generic stone up, which would be more like a paver that we would turn, we would actually turn vertical, and we were thinking of numbering them 1 to 48, and we could have sponsors, and those sponsors would go back that would be listed on that site. One of the other items that we want to do is put up a fence around the property just as a protection. It would still be open to the public, but this would just kind of add a little bit of security to it. And when you see the price, you'll see that that part is down the road. But so a basic budget would be the flagpole is around $1,900. The steps at the max would be $2,500. The plaque is about $1,800. Grave markers $32. The tree removal is $3,500. Now, going back to the tree removal, that $3,500, because unfortunately we would need to get like Flagger Force or something like that to close the road because they need about 3 hours to bring this tree down because it kind of extends over towards Newside Road. The tree service is willing, they said maximum would be 1,500. They would like to do it at 500. But if one of their pieces of equipment got damaged or they had a real problem, that's why I increased it to the 35. And the fence is roughly 25,000. My goal for 2026, though, is the most important is to get the flagpole up, get the steps put in, because I have a commitment on that. And I know Jay's real interested in getting the grave markers. But if we had even just the flagpole and the steps, that would add such an eye-catching and accessible, because there's a heck of a little bit of a hill to get up to where the actual cemetery is located. So, you know, it's timing is everything, but so bear with me when I mention this GoFundMe. But we have different ways of getting some of the funds to us, because again, I am trying to limit the cost of taxpayer money to being as little as I possibly can. And again, right now, we're at $0. Everything has been paid by us personally or donated through us. There is the Lower Paxton Community Foundation, which I also sit on that board, was originally set up so that, because it's a 501c3, and that allows to be a conduit for people to make direct donations for a project like this and be able to take a tax deduction. So we can take direct donations to the community foundation. We also can set up a GoFundMe through the community foundation, and they've actually applied for the contract on that. And the other part would be grants. I know that Mr. Campbell has given us some names of some organizations, and we're looking into those. We've also received some direct donations from some larger businesses like AAA, from the lower or the Linglestown Civic Association, and the Knights of Columbus. So we are getting our name out there, and I again, I really give this credit all to Jay, because he is the one that has been getting the marketing so people are familiar with this program, or with this project, I should say. So one of the ideas, or one of the what I feel would be the next logical movement would be to get the actual land that is in the area that surrounds it, which would be about a 90 by 90 section. I've talked with PMI, who is the basically the parent corporation of Four Seasons. They're willing to donate it to the township. However, they would not be able to cover the legal fees for the transfer. One of the items that I would like to ask for tonight is that we have permission to meet with the township solicitor to discuss that as an option, or to pro and con it of maybe doing an outright, instead of an outright ownership, doing like a 99-year lease. And Mike had actually suggested that at one of our meeting we had. So that's well beyond, I'm a history person, I'm not a legal person. So I would like to have permission to discuss that with the solicitor. I'll mention this, and then I'm going to, I want to show something, so if Jay could turn the lights back on. September 19th is hopefully going to be our rededication. And if everything goes right, we would like to have a program. Hopefully everybody here, you're all welcome. We'll have a speaker. We'll have a hopefully some people in period dress, and also have a spiritual leader to bless the grounds. And we really look forward to it. I'll end it with this. During our investigation or excavation or everything that we're doing over there, we found a couple interesting items. One, we had a hit on the ground penetrating radar, which showed that there was a solid area that went below a softer ground, and we were hoping that it was going to be another tombstone, because that's what that is our goal, to find another one of those. So Jay promised he wouldn't show any pictures of just my legs and butt sticking out of the hole. I dug a 3-foot hole, and I found that it was mainly just hitting more of a clay area. But 3 feet under the ground.
Wow.
We found this flag, and of course that's exactly all the little history geeks like me all of a sudden started counting the stars, but it was 50. And what we think was when they widened new side, that a lot of soil probably got thrown up on the banks, and that's why we had the difference in the soft and the hard ground, and it probably just buried this. Another item that we found was this. It took a little bit of research, but what we figured it to be, and I went up to the Civil War Museum here in Harrisburg, and I saw one exactly like it. This is a support for under a seat on a wagon. So it's interesting. Are we talking just a farm wagon? Are we talking 1800s or earlier? But I thought that was a cool find. And the other thing that we found was we found some small broken pieces of china. And we were able to date those. Those are from about the mid to late 1800s. But it was still interesting to find that. And we have, I had the pleasure of meeting with the owner of the property that was just west of the cemetery, because we had actually, right beside the cemetery is a real flat piece of land. And using the radar, we were able to determine where a foundation once was. And it was large enough that we were hoping it was the church. But when I met with the people that grew up there back in the 1940s, she was just a kid at that point, that was actually part of their farm. That was a livestock area. But they owned the property across the street from that in the woods, and they were showing me a hump, and they always felt that's where the church was. And they've given us complete access to that property, so we're going to try to look over there and do some research and see if we can determine if there was a foundation over there. So that ends that. The only thing, I'm here to not only educate and bring up and try to get some interest in this, because this is our 250th, but to see if we can get permission to meet with the solicitor to discuss the possible acquisition of the property.
So just continue your conversation with Mr. Gossard, right? I mean, let me just say, Mr. Doyle, to you, the commission, all the volunteers, amazing presentation. Clearly, the vision, the passion, the dedication is there. I personally want to thank you and all the volunteers, the commission, the staff, for the great work that you're doing. Lower Paxton Township is better off because of the incredible work that you're doing. Again, I'm taken aback. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
And I mean, I'd like everybody to join me in just giving the commission and Mr. Doyle and everybody a hand.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the supervisors?
Yeah, Dave, long time coming with the Historical Commission. We got together, we started it, and it all worked out. And thank you so much for all that you and the commission members, you guys are truly history buffs. Truly history buffs. So I have a box Matt is cleaning out at the Public Works. He gave me a box last Tuesday that is loaded with hundreds of pictures.
Oh, nice.
There's ones from the police department, which I took some of them to Jean Farrell's funeral, and they couldn't believe what they all looked like. They all had dark hair and a lot of hair. So I'm in the process of going through them, separating them. There are some there from the school district that has like South Side with the really old cars in front. So I'm going to be separating everything, and then if the school district doesn't want them, give them to you, and then other stuff that's in that box for the Historical Commission. And again, you guys are truly historians, and I really appreciate all the work that you're doing. So happy that we could get that commission started again. So what's it, 10, 12 years?
It's
10?
Yeah, it's probably about 10.
Okay,
Because I think
okay.
7 or
Yeah.
8 was me. And
Yeah, so I'm just glad that it's back under the umbrella of the township and it's not, separate on its own. So, and you are getting your Facebook Facebook page back?
We're going to work towards that, yep.
Okay, great.
So-
All right, okay, all right.
Okay, other
Thank you.
supervisor comments?
I just wanted to make a,
This is Dr. Stewart. I'd like to say it was a great, outstanding report. I think you guys do a great job with the Historical Society and how you do things and share your information. It truly shows your love for this, for our community, for all of our people in our community, and all of the history that there is. So keep up the good work, and you appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say it was a great presentation, but I've also been watching Jay's posts on particularly the ground penetrating radar, and it made me feel like I was watching Geraldo Rivera open Al Capone's safe. What are they going to find? So thanks for showing us the flag, no matter what way it ended 3 feet below. It's just the suspense has to be kind of fun while you're doing this kind of work.
Oh, we love it. We really do. I mean, that's what we live for, and it's interesting as I talked to the owner of the property, and as a kid, they mentioned that they found buttons and coins, and it's like, okay, we're going out looking.
All right. That's great. All right, thank you again, sir. Appreciate it. Great way to end the board meeting with that presentation. So we're at item number 11. Any announcements? I have none. All right, so the next board meeting, as you know, is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, right here. Looking forward to seeing everybody. And thank you all for attending. Thank you for your questions, your comments. Thank you for being a part of, the conversation here about township business. With that said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Done.
Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the ayes have it. Have a great evening, everybody.
See you, Dr. Stewart.
See you, Doc.
Hi, Charles.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. No.